What is up, Poke Homies? Today we're going to be doing a video, 6 things you probably should be doing if you want to be a successful streamer on Whatnot or Drip or any of these platforms that you're allowed to live stream and do auctions and things like that. Personally, I stream on Whatnot, but a lot of these concepts can apply to any other platforms like TikTok, Drip, any of these other ones. But specifically, if you're looking to go on Whatnot, that's probably where this advice is going to work best for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to go over 6 different things that you can do or you should be doing to build a successful stream and grow a following on these platforms. These things are not in any particular order. These are just kind of the way these came to my head. So we're going to start off with tip number 1, which is what makes you different, right? If you're starting to stream, right, there's tons of other streamers out there. There's thousands, if not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of other streamers, maybe on different platforms, same platform, whatever. But what is it that makes you different? What's going to draw people to you, right? What's somebody who's going to swipe into your stream and see you sitting there with packs or ripping or whatever? What is going to want to make that person stay? This could be a variety of things. I can't tell you what this is. Personally, for me, I have over time been trying different things, experimenting with different things, seeing what works best, what works less, what my audience tends to be gravitated towards. And so this is what you got to keep in mind, right? Who is your target audience and why do they want to come see you? It could be anything as simple as, your personality. There's people who have very niche products, right? So for example, there's a streamer that is in our community on Whatnot that it sells like vintage sticker packs and things like that. It's a little bit different and harder to come by, or not so many people are selling them. So a lot of people are drawn to that and they're interested in that, and he's very knowledgeable about the stuff. If you guys are interested in that, take a look in the description below. I'll tag his stream in there. You can go check him out and see all the cool stuff that he has. So it's basically, what is it that people are going to want to come see you for that none of the other 10,000 have, right? Now there's always going to be people who do similar things, but if you can niche it down to something and still keep it within your overall category of what you're streaming, for example, Pokemon, for the example I used, right? You're using vintage stickers, vending machine cards, other types of stickers, tattoos. These things all fit within that Pokemon realm of collectibles, but it's just some other products that you can collect that it's a little harder to find. And people are drawn to that, especially collectors or people who even have a passion for like Pokemon. Find what works for you. You can try a bunch of different things, see what people are drawn to about you. Personally, what I found was, if you look for a problem to solve, that you can incorporate or niche down into your audience or your community, you're probably going to be better off. For me, when I was trying to get started here, I found that it was hard to get product at a decent price when you're small or you don't have a brick and mortar store. You're not going to be able to get a distributor. And I help others with their stream, give them an advice, marketing stuff, and I help them grow. I also am able to be a source for other streamers and collectors to source product from, where they can get product at a decent rate that's going to allow them to make money and grow their stream. And so we've been building a community around that, and that's what worked for me. You just find things that are specific to you and work for you and see what your community reacts with and engages with, and then you just take that and you go from there. All right, moving on to tip number 2 here. Be prepared when you're doing your streams, right? And I know I'm really guilty of a lot of times not being fully prepared when my stream is scheduled to go. I'm usually somewhat prepared. This has now become sort of like a running joke or an inside joke between our community, where I start to stream up, maybe I start running a givey and I'm not ready, and then I'm like, oh, here it goes again, PMM's not ready. In all honesty, even my streams would perform better if I was just to be prepared. And I mean, and it's not that hard, right? These are common sense things, but it's things that will impact your stream. If I'm sitting here, for example, trying to finish setting up my mystery pool box, which I do often, I'm not getting that initial momentum when starting my stream up. I started giving up right away, people start purchasing right away, we start going, people start liking the stream, more people come in, and that initial momentum builds up and will carry throughout the stream. But a lot of times, or half the time, I sit here and I'm trying to finish entering things into the bin, and it just slows the start of the stream, and then it kind of moves at a slow pace from there. So I feel like it's really important when you start your stream, that's going to set the pace for your stream. And these are just simple things. Like I said, you want to make sure you have your buy it now filled, right? Your shop, You want to have your auctions ready. If you're doing giveaways, you want to have your giveaways ready. You want to have your presentation ready. If you've seen my streams or any clips, you can see I have the booster dispenser here. This is usually placed somewhere, like, you know, within the stream somewhere, ready to go for people to pick their pools. If you're doing pack rips, make sure you have your top loaders accessible, your sleeves, you know, your markers, your team bags, anything you're going to need. Your garbage is ready. A lot of times I leave my garbage at, you know, over there. I really should get a second garbage can. Like I said, I feel like the start of your stream sets the pace of how the rest of your stream is going to go. The third tip, you want to make sure you have some streams that are scheduled in advance. Can't tell you how many times I've stressed this to other, you know, streamers in the community, other people who are getting started, and I even talk about it on stream a lot. The importance of this, especially on a platform like Whatnot, is that when people bookmark your show, they are getting notified when you go live. One of the most important things, it's almost like when you subscribe to somebody and you turn on notifications, it's kind of the same thing, which, by the way, if you do get value or like any content that I make, please like and subscribe. It really does help the videos. Moving on, it's kind of the same way where it's like if you schedule a stream, you can ask people to go bookmark that stream, and once they bookmark it, whenever you go live, they will get the notification. A lot of people I hear is like, well, I don't know when I can go live, or I'm not sure if I can meet that time frame, or maybe I gotta change the day, or I won't know if I'll have product, or any of this good stuff. I mean, that's all fine and dandy, and I get it, I understand it. When you do not have shows scheduled and bookmarked, people are not going to get notified that you're going live. And nowadays, these platforms are so saturated. There's people that I've followed for a long time, and I watch their streams, and they're live, and I'm scrolling through sometimes to see who's on there, or I'm on the PC looking, you know, scrolling through, trying to see who's live for me to go hang out with. I don't even see these people, and then I'll jump in a stream and I'm watching somebody else random, and then I'll get tagged. They're like, hey, how come you're not over here? It's like, I didn't even know this person went live. They scheduled it yesterday and they did a pop-up, which, like I said, is fine. It's a pop-up. My point of it is that you don't always get the notifications if you don't have bookmarks. If you have bookmarks, it guaranteed those notifications are going to be pushed out. And even if you only get 1 or 2 people on there that want to come and join, that's 1 or 2 people more that are there. And here's the thing, you can adjust your stream. So if you are saying like, okay, I want to go live Friday, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna have, you know, enough packs to rip, or, you know, if my order is gonna come in on time. Yes, I know that sucks. However, if you schedule the stream while you're hanging out, or telling people, or promoting, put it on social media, in the Discord, or wherever else, you can tell people, hey, I have this stream coming up. I'm gonna have some cool product in. Why don't you go bookmark it? And you can rack up a bunch of bookmarks. If, guess what, the product doesn't come in Friday, you know what? Go in, schedule it, change the schedule on it. If you're going to move it to Saturday, Monday, Tuesday of next week, go ahead and update that. Those bookmarks will remain there. Make sure you let everybody know, hey, sorry, I had to move the stream. And then when you're ready, you can go live and people will still get those notifications. We've had a lot of newer people who have been members of the community, you know, supporters, buyers, you know, whoever in the community, and they've recently decided they wanted to start streaming and selling cards. And when they started to stream, they're hanging out everywhere. They're telling people about their streams. Or when they started their streams up, you know, they had 80 bookmarks, 100 bookmarks, and those streams, their first streams ever, were successful streams. I mean, some of these people were getting over 100 sales on their first stream. It is so important to do this. I can't stress this enough. I tell this to people all the time. This is such a great strategy. And the thing is you don't need to do anything different. If you're already on the app, if you're already part of a community, you just let people know, hey, I have a stream. You know, it's my first stream coming up. Please bookmark it. Hey, I got a new set. I'm going to do a box break. Please go bookmark it. I did an EV Heroes box break maybe like a month or 2 ago. I was worried. I'm like, you know, EV Heroes kind of an expensive set. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it, you know, blah, 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 blah. I set up a box break, started promoting it. I sold out the box break before the stream even started. Like, it's all about getting those bookmarks and getting people aware of what you have going on and giving them a way to be notified when you're live or you have new products or whatever the case is. At that, I'm going to let this go and I'm going to move on. So tip number 4 with how to grow your stream, or how to be consistent. What are we going to call it? I don't even know what I'm going to call this yet. Tip number 4 with, you know, starting a successful stream, running a successful stream, being successful on Whatnot. There you go. Tip number 4, being successful on Whatnot. Be consistent. I know it's simple. A lot of these are just kind of some common sense things, but sometimes you have to be reminded of things, you know, the simple things. And that goes the same for me, goes the same for everybody. Sometimes like the simple answers are there, you know, you have to do things, but when somebody just presents it to you, you receive it better. I don't know what it is. I know that's been the case for me. It can be a variety of things, right? It can be consistent with your streams. If you have a crazy schedule, it's a part-time, whatever the case is, you can't do that. Okay, be consistent with what you're doing. If you're going to be doing, you know, 1 stream a week, right? Be consistent with it. Do the 1 stream, Make sure you're prepared every time. Make sure you're getting those bookmarks. Make sure you're reaching out to people. All these good things will build to a good stream, but you have to be consistent at it. If you're going to be doing, you know, rip and ships, be consistent. Do rip and ships, right? Like I mostly do pull boxes and rip and ships, and it's always a fun time. And even at that, like if you're talking about a pull box, right? Be consistent with your pull box. My pull box, everybody knows the pull box is always going to be fair. It's got some good hits, maybe some slabs, maybe some ETBs, some, you know, different stuff, some booster bundles, things like that. Everybody knows my pull boxes are good, and I'm always consistent in that manner. And especially with things like pull boxes, this is a great example actually, was why consistency is key. Is, for example, if I'm running pull box and everybody has come to know that my pull box is great, it's reliable, and you can count on it, and there's not going to be any weird stuff or it gets scammed, and then one day I come out of nowhere and I have just a shitty pull box, right? Like there's one ETB, one slab in there, a bunch of floors, nothing good for you to get. All of a sudden now that changes. People are like, whoa, wait a minute, I got to be caught. Like, I don't know what's in there. I might be losing out here, right? Like this is not going to be a good look for me. My point is, if I remain consistent with my pull box, more people will start to hear about it. People know that they can rely on my pull box. They know that they're going to have a good time. They know that there's going to be some good hits in there. If you're consistent in anything, you will eventually succeed. If you do a stream every day for 300 days or for a full year, you will succeed. If you're consistent in anything, if you're posting content 3 times a day, every day, and you're being consistent in the type and the style, you will succeed. If you can be consistent in anything, you will succeed. And a lot of that has to do with, you know, you slightly get better each time. You kind of work out the little kinks and the nuances. You get more viewers. People start spreading word of mouth. Whatever it is, you have to be consistent, and that's an important part of getting your growth. So be consistent and follow all the tips and everything, and you will succeed. Trust me. Tip number 5, you have to be active in the community. There's just no way around this, right? I don't care who you are. You have to be active in the community. One, this goes with like scheduling your bookmarks, right? If you're not active, you're not talking to anybody, you're just streaming and then that's it. Nobody's going to know to go bookmark your stuff, right? Go support other people. If you don't have money, great. Support comes in more forms than just buying stuff or tipping. If I just stop being active in the community, if I just stop going to somebody else's chat and just hanging out with them, to me, that's the most important thing. If I have 2 people hanging out in my stream talking to me, that's amazing. If I have 10 people, it's amazing. Sometimes I still have bad streams, right? Like where I'm not doing many sales. I'm still on for hours at a time and we're just chatting it up in the chat. That means a lot more to streamers than you think it does. Even more in some cases than purchasing. Like building that friendship, those communities. A lot of times you never know what people are going through. Sometimes they just need the support. Whatever the case is, like I'm just going to go down the rabbit hole if I keep talking. My point is, if you're active in the community, people get to know who you are. People get to know you a little bit. You have to look at this from a reverse perspective, right? If you're going to look to buy from people, you know, and you don't know who these people are, you're just going to immediately jump in and be like, oh, hey, yeah, let me just throw some money and see how it works. No, you might want to get to know them a little bit. What's one way to get to know them? Is if you see them in other people's streams, you see them chatting it up with other people. You're like, hey, who is this guy? He's funny, or he's cool, or he seems knowledgeable, whatever the case is. And then you get to know them, you follow them, you bookmark their streams, you come check them out. You're like, you know what? This person does not seem that bad after all. They start to trust you. You build a like, no trust factor, which is very important. Be helpful for other people. If you see somebody in the chat like, hey, you know, I don't know what's the deal with the Japanese packs, like, you know, or the boxes, right? Like that's a question I get often. It's like, what's the difference between the boxes? Like what's in there? I know there's like set hit rates in that. Like if you know the answer, throw it out there, you know, be helpful to people. People like that. When you lead with value, that immediately that's better than anything you can do. Provide people value and the rest will come. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been successful in growing is, you know, I lead with value. I help people. I coach them for their streams. I give them ideas for their streams. Tell them how to promote their streams, you know, do this for these videos, create this TikTok, this short, use this YouTube video, you know, here's how you do your shipping. Here's what you can use for your taxes, you know, all these things. Like anything I know, I share. I don't information gate anything. And if you can provide value with people just by giving a little bit of information away, people will know, hey, this guy's knowledgeable, he's trustworthy, he's helpful, he has good intentions, you know. But when you get to know people, one, you get that support. Like every time we get somebody's new stream or birthday stream or something like that, they're like, for somebody's first stream, there's 20-30 people in there because our community all supports each other. We all understand what it takes to grow, and being a part of that community is very important. And now the last final tip, number 6, treat others and their packages as you would expect to be treated. Put yourself in other people's shoes. They don't know you online. With all the scams and everything we have going on nowadays, like they're taking a leap. Even if they've already gotten to know you a little bit online, like you really don't know anybody, right? If they're taking that leap, make it as most comfortable for them as possible, right? Show your appreciation for it. One of the things like people always applaud me for is my packaging and shipping. This is a great example of how you can provide more value. People always tell me all the time, your packaging is phenomenal, right? It's like the way I expect my packages to show up to my house is the way I ship them out. People rip some packs on my stream to get a big hit. It goes into a team bag. When I go to prepare it to ship, I put cardboard behind it, you know, wrap it up, put it in bubble wrap, put it in a bubble mailer, you know, I put a fragile sticker on it, you know, I make sure it's as secure as possible. Shit happens in the mail. UPS, USPS, FedEx, they all just, you know, if you think they're taking your packages nicely and setting them down, you're wrong. So this is typically what happens, right? Your stuff gets to a processing distribution center, comes off the line, they get it, they scan it, and they just toss it. That actually went in my recycling box. One of one. That was amazing. So you want to make sure when you're shipping stuff like that, especially if you're selling sealed product, booster boxes, any of that stuff, if you send this just like this and it gets tossed all around and it's not even secure in the box itself where it doesn't move, it's going to get all hit around, it's going to get banged up. And if people open these packs and they see that they're banged up, especially if they're pulling a hit out of it, they're going to be like, dude, what's going on? I have bought sealed product from other people and it does not come protected. It's just a booster box in a box. So I send things to people the way I would expect them to be sent to me. If I want to take a booster box and just throw it in a box, throw a label in it, send it out, I can guarantee you it's not going to get there in that condition. So take care of it, you know, and this is something people show. You care about their product, you care about their business. Take care of the product, the shipping, the packaging, you know, all of that good stuff. If you do that, people will see that, like, hey, this person really cares about this product, really cares about my business, really cares about their business as well. Those are my 6 tips for growing a successful whatnot business, streaming business, whatever you want to call it. All right, so to recap, what makes you different? Find your niche, find what works for you, find what, you know, what will draw people to you. Be prepared for each stream. Know what you're going to do for the day, whether it's going to be pull boxes, ripping boxes, energy breaks, whatever. Make sure you have your bin loaded, make sure you have your supplies you need, like top loaders, all that stuff. Schedule your shows in advance and get bookmarks. Get people to bookmark your show, get notifications to show up. Be consistent, do what works over and over, be active in the community and get to know people, get to know your fellow streamers, get to know your buyers, your customers, get to know the people who are just coming there for the giveies. Lastly, make sure you take care of everybody's stuff, make sure you treat their stuff with respect. Show them you care about their business, show them you care about running your business, show them you care about the product itself. I guarantee you, if you do these 6 things and you do them consistently, you will grow, you will be successful, and that's all there is to it, really. That's going to do it for today's video. If you guys did find this at all useful or would like to see more like it, please subscribe, notifications, comment down below. That's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys on the next one.